Hello all, and welcome to Thousand Faces and Go Buff Yourself present another episode of The Wylde Beyond. Once again here joined by my incredible friends who are taking time out of their busy lives to play this silly game with me, and I appreciate it so much every single time. You all might notice we got a blank screen over that way. Your boy Gromp, aka Devon, is representing our family at a wedding this weekend that we were unable to attend, so thank you, Devon. We have just a few usual announcements before we go ahead and jump in. This is an 18-plus stream. You can catch up on past episodes of this, City of the Crimson Tower, one-shots, Mothership, all kinds of different things, just by going to Go Buff Yourself anywhere that you get your podcasts. And I'm very happy with, I just edited the episode, the part 1 of Run Rabbit Run, so you all are about to encounter Agden Longscarf for the first time, where we are in the podcast.
That shit.
And it won't be the last time.
It won't be the last. So 18 plus, podcast. Anyone else think of any? Yeah.
Hookers.
In and out of character,
hookers.
drug use and hookers, all of that.
I mean, we just got paid, so I mean, obviously.
So maybe
It is D&D. It is D&D, and that is a pretty classic way of spending your money. But I think with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and roll our intro so we can jump into episode 38 of The Wylde Beyond. When we last left the Wylde Things, they had succeeded at a number of different endeavors, from taking down and disabling a goblin logging camp to tracking and eliminating a dangerous creature called the Snark, saving a blink dog pup, finding a particular highly sought-after type of mushroom for a pretty baker. And when you all returned to town, the baking contest that mushroom was for took place, with Kieren acting as sous chef for Ilsa. Soup chef. There was a quite hotly contested bake-off, judged by Otto, Sir Goldenpetal, and the Mayor Vorotyric. The baking contest went smoothly up until the end, when one of the bakers attempted to cheat. And when Hansel's sous chef was caught trying to mess with Ilsa's incredible dish, they were stopped. The contest was judged, with Ilsa being the winner, and then Hansel got a little talking to from the 3 judges and was eventually forced to, quite literally, have a taste of his own medicine. With a kiss between Kieren and Ilsa, the crew returned to the Enchanted Oven for a little bit of post-contest celebration. Ilsa gifted you all with a enchanted whisk that could summon these, as you all put it, dough flubbers that could...
Doughboys.
Doughboys, yeah. That could function as little helpers for a little while. And as the celebration started to wind down, Ilsa approached Kieren, saying, since the prize for winning the baking contest was becoming a chef, a baker of the summer court, she'd be leaving soon. And so she didn't know when they would get an opportunity for that date. So might as well do it now. And with Wraught giving Melon permission to eat through the trash, and Gromp and Wraught and some of the other wild things deciding to take advantage of a little downtime and go visit Vale Crossing's incredible spas and hot springs, that was where we left off. And so, when we pick up, the first thing that we see is Kieren and Ilsa exiting through the back door of the enchanted oven, arm locked in arm, Ilsa with a basket under or looped around her left arm, and we can just see slightly out of focus behind these two as they walk through the streets, Melon just absolutely hounding through garbage back there. Just, you see like little scraps go flying over the shoulder of things, little ting, 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 as something goes skittering along with just the... And before...
Does he find anything cool?
Well, I mean, it's garbage. At the moment, that's all.
Well,
one man.
do I?
Make me, I'm going to say with disadvantage, make me an investigation check.
Fuck yeah. 11.
11 with disadvantage. I would say...
On. Ooh, that's a 2.
2. You find a lot of... Well, delicious is
He finds food poisoning.
I mean, probably. And delicious is definitely a subjective term, but I think for you, if you are someone who wanted to go through the trash, you definitely find exactly what you were expecting.
Bones.
And yes, definitely that. Oh, tons of that. But before we jump over to Kieren and Ilsa, I know Wraught and Gromp were planning to head to the springs and spa area, the Blackberry Row part of town where that is. What about Bodhi and Otto?
Otto would like to go find a couple of different things. Would like to go find someone who can make clothes, and then find the mayor, and Sir Golden Petal.
Got it. But first is looking for a tailor?
Yeah.
Is there a type of clothing you are looking
Cloaks.
for? Cloaks? Sure, no problem. Okay. Then you will also go ahead and make me an investigation check. This is just to see how long it takes you to find the place. And Bodhi, what about you?
Can I help him?
Oh, sure.
I help him. Yeah.
Come with me,
I'm
bud.
just, I'm just making my feet move at this point, man. I don't have any real purpose until we do stuff. So.
Well, it's a very short ride because I rolled a nat 20 and my
Shit.
perception check is 6. Plus
Holy
6,
shit.
26.
Wow. Walk on.
Absolutely.
ADD focus.
No problem. So you spot a shop not too far actually from the entrance to Blackberry Row. If you wanted really good, really high quality garb, that would be in Blackberry Row. So if you want to go looking there, or are you looking for something that is a little bit more affordable, functional, that type of thing?
Well, I'd like something to get made. If that's
Cool.
Which one's be better getting things made at?
No problem. Easily done. So in that case, Gromp, Wraught, Otto, and Bodhi, all four of you take off together to Blackberry Row. And like I said, Blackberry Row is all of Vale Crossing is beautiful and pastoral and comforting, with the flowers here just in absolute exploding bloom thanks to Melon's magics. But Blackberry Row is just a step up. Everything here is, the architecture is just a little bit more showy than the main center of Vale Crossing, where things are more functional and humble. Here it is a little more extravagant. And Otto, with that nat 20, you catch a window display of a shop that lets you know that you found the right place. And the name of the shop overhead is Faye Fabrics by Ilana and Sebastian. There are 3 mannequins displayed in a row in the window display, all dressed in lavish outfits with bright colors that evoke the imagery of the fields of spring itself. And the lettering of the sign is intricate and gold, beautiful lettering. The shop looks pretty expensive, but it looks impeccable in terms of the quality.
Hello?
All right, so the two of you break off and head inside. There is a little ding of a bell as you push through the door, and you see that there are 2 customers in here at the moment being helped by 2 tailors. The 2 tailors are both Summer Eladrin. They have a rich orange and green skin tone with big summer blooming flowers that have been placed beautifully in their hair, and they are currently each tending to a customer, and the man who is currently measuring for cuffing a pant leg of a dwarf and still has some pins in his teeth, turns to you. Be right with you in just one moment. Give me a second. Pushes the pin through and takes the rest out of his mouth. That should be good. Go take that off. And the dwarf gives and goes back to one of the changing rooms. And as he stands and dusts off one of his knees where he'd been kneeling, the Summer Eladrin approaches you. Sebastian, how may I help make you even more beautiful?
Oh, that's so sweet. No one ever really calls me that. Sebastian is your name?
Yes.
I'm guessing. I don't like to assume with the names on the front.
No, it is a fair assumption. This is my shop and my sister's. And she is currently, again, taking measurements of someone and gives just a little wave from over where she is and goes back to work.
My name's Otto. I'm like the Witchlight Monarch and everything. I'm letting people know that, as it helped out a lot earlier. But I don't really have a lot of nice things, and we just recently took care of an issue for you guys. We killed a snark, and I was wondering if you guys made cloaks or anything like that, or did you just have them at the ready?
And he hears you say, do you make cloaks? And he just looks over his shoulder a little to where his sister is and says, Ilana, do we make cloaks here? And she gives a, do we make cloaks? Yes, of course we make cloaks. We have perfect cloak for him. Go, get one. I just finished it this morning. And Sebastian just looks behind the counter for a second where there is, can't quite see what is back there, just a few shelves, but he grabs a folded cloak and he unfolds it, and it, for a second, you can't tell what color it is. And as he just stretches it, it eventually just settles, or your eyes settle, who knows which, on a sky blue color. This is my sister's specialty. Her cloaks are worn by the most fashionable members of Vale Crossing.
Oh, does it do anything special or anything like that?
Describe to me, Mr. Monarch, your ideal cloak.
Well, and Otto is going to flash back to Nightmare Otto. A cloak with a lot of eyes on it.
You start...
Well...
Oh, please go ahead and continue. I apologize.
He's going to remember the details of, and by nightmare I mean the vision from the mirror, Otto, with the cloak with all the eyes on it, searching and looking for people and enemies and all that stuff, and hitting each time look. And he kind of gets a little bit of a headache, and you see the audience sees another crack on that mirror.
So, how exactly do you what? Because that's the memory that Otto has. But what does Otto say out loud to Sebastian?
A cloak that'll allow to see all around me and keep me safe. I am a little guy, as a lot of people say to me, and with something like that, I'd be able to like protect my friends, and I use a bow, so I would need to be able to see in any type of element or weather or anything, be able to help them.
As you were describing this, I think you were so, for a second, in that memory that you didn't even feel the light touch of Sebastian as he draped the cloak across your shoulders. And as you finish describing, he steps back from you and says, "My sister and I are but humble tailors. Providing you a cloak that can literally see for you might be a step outside of our specialty, but..." And he gestures you forward towards a full-length mirror. "The illusion..." And you see a cloak that has the pattern of eyes that appears on it. It isn't like it's drawn on. It's closer to what you see on the wings of certain prey creatures to frighten off predators. The evolutionary shapes that just happen to mimic eyes. As this pattern is all over the back of the cloak as you turn and look at it. And Sebastian standing back proudly. "And if at any point you get tired of that design, it can look like something else, too."
What?
Close your eyes and think of a different design.
Otto's going to think of the leaves and the moss that are on Bodhi's back right now and recreate it.
And when you open your eyes, And Bodhi, you notice it first as you're standing there watching this happen, but you see as Otto closes his eyes, and then the cloak he's wearing, while the mushrooms don't become actually three-dimensional, the pattern that it creates on there is enough to trick the eye that it is. And Otto, when you open your eyes, the length of the cloak has changed. The fabric has gotten a little rougher hewn from what it was when it was the eyes. And indeed, the pattern has changed to look more like moss and mushrooms.
Oh, this is so cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so cool.
I love it. I look like you now,
yeah, but cooler, man.
Mr. Sebastian, how much is this? How much do I owe you?
That one is 50 gold.
Oh. All right. Bodhi, do you want anything too?
Bodhi is going to look at your cool new cloak, and then he's going to look down at his little linen pants. He doesn't really have any shoes on. He's going to look at his rope belt, which is a little frayed. Oh, yeah, good, man. Everything I need right here.
If you are sure, my turtle friend, but if you are interested, I'm sure we could craft you something that complements your stouter physique. Maybe emphasizes the chest area a little bit, make you look even broader.
And he's just gonna look at his shoulders. He's gonna look at the top of his shell, and
or perhaps a clean pair of pants.
Cool, yeah, you pick me out something cool. I don't know fashion. And he's just gonna kind of shift in place and flush a bit. Embarrassed.
Would you like to pick something out for your friend? Or shall I?
Oh.
That's to you, Otto.
Oh, sorry,
you cut out.
broke.
Yeah.
My bad. Allow me to repeat. Sebastian looks at you, Otto, and says, "Would you like to pick something out for your friend, or shall I?"
I'll do it.
Thanks so much.
Let me know if I can be of any. Was there something else you needed made?
Yeah, and I recently got my clothes stolen by another Herringon, and I just kind of have been wearing his stuff, and I was wondering if you could maybe make this again for me. I had clothes, but like this design, and I'm just gonna take. Mm-hmm.
When you say that your clothes had been stolen, the siblings, with both having finished who they were tending to at the moment, so they've both been kind of around and listening, with Ilana behind the counter just taking care of a few things. When you say that your clothes have been stolen, both of them, your clothes? That is awful. Your clothes are a part of your identity. To have them stolen from you. What sort of monster would do such a thing? And Ilana, those poor fabrics. Who knows what if they're torn? Can't even bear to think of it.
Well, it's a mixture of leather and nice fabric. It was a gift to me.
Do you have it, like, sketched out?
Mm-hmm.
The two of them huddle together and begin looking at, okay, so this right here, that should be easy. We may need to find different fabric for this, you see how it's... And they're kind of coordinating on what to do here. And let me get a die really quick.
Pretty much, and I'll explain it to him while you're doing this. It's pretty much allows me to be able to use my bow, but also protect me. Moonfire logo as well on the chest piece there too. But I might change it a little bit. I want to add the horns.
We could have this finished for you in 2 days. And we'll make it look a little bit better than this even.
All right. Wait, 2 days?
2 days.
Otto immediately looks at his fucking arm.
You got 2.5.
Huh. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Yeah.
Wonderful. And the two of them in seamless unison begin to just take all of your measurements. Yeah, you are just put into position, arms held out at a T as a soft measuring tape is strung across you inseam with just a quick little incoming as he stretches up your inseam and coming around back, going to get a little personal here, wraps around, like takes all your measurements, and it's done within 70 seconds. Just this flurry of measurements. And then Ilana is taking the final notes. Wonderful. Did you have any special requests for colors? And you give all the details of exactly how you would like it to appear. And they do request a down payment of 20 gold. That is 50%.
Oh, I'll just pay all of it.
Oh, even better. Thank you very much. Otto, we will have this completed for you in 2 days and not an hour later.
Thanks. Can I take the cloak with me?
Of course,
Now,
that is
or-
yours. Please, if anyone asks you where you got it, let them know you got it at Faye Fabrics.
May Fabrics,
Thank you.
where the magic is in the scene.
Word of mouth matters, with small independent companies. So thank you very much.
I support small businesses. I do that. I appreciate that.
And with Otto still having to pick out a pair of pants for Bodhi, we do cut
Like purple?
really quick over to Wraught and Gromp. The two of you kept walking after Otto and Bodhi broke off. Let me change one thing here on the ambiance. There we go. You eventually, after asking just a few times, manage to find Euphoria. The spa and hot springs that everyone, those who live in Blackberry Row and those who don't, comes to visit from time to time. There is a set of smooth, natural stone steps that lead up to a quiet area enclosed by nature. These, even though Euphoria is located in Blackberry Row, it's built on the outside, so when you follow these steps, you're almost a little outside of the walls. Just this little bubble that's outside of the town walls, so that you don't have the hustle and bustle of the town around you while you're trying to relax. And in here there are misty hot springs of various sizes, surrounded by comfortable lawn chairs filled with soaking and reclining patrons, the hot springs gently bubbling, almost as if they were inviting you all in personally. And as you step up, a rather rotund halfling steps forward and approaches you all. Welcome to Euphoria. Can I get you all a day pass?
That would be
spectacular.
Wonderful. It going to be the two of you then? Have you been to Euphoria
We may-
before?
Yeah, more joining later, but I don't know what ring. So that's their problem, not mine.
Oh, two for now, that is no problem. You can always be joined later. Have you been to the hot springs before? Oh, well then, my name is Jerome. It will be my pleasure to show you around. Please follow me. Let me show you all that Euphoria has to offer.
And with a quick tour around, you are relieved of 10 gold each, but you are also provided with waterproof slippers, a luxurious plushy robe, soft cotton towels.
Is there a locker for our things?
Absolutely.
'Cause I have a
Yes.
flamethrower that needs to be checked.
Yes, there is a flamethrower check, a coat check, all of that is provided on site. Your clothes and items are checked, secured. You're given a little reclaim tag so that you can pick up your things when you leave. But it smells of lavender and lemongrass in here, as the different soaking herbs and baths and all of that. And after Jerome has shown you around,
please let me know if there's anything else you need. In the meantime, enjoy Euphoria.
Gives a bow, backs up a couple feet, and then leaves you to it. There are patrons all around, but there are large hot springs if you want to be in a bit of a communal one, but there are also, if you follow the just branching little paths through here, you can find private ones as well.
I'm gonna glance at my companion. Are you in the mood to rub elbows or keep to ourselves?
I don't know if I want to rub elbows while I'm in the hot springs. That probably means I'm sitting a little close. I mean, like, I'm not opposed to talking with people or being near people, but if it's so cramped that we're rubbing elbows, I didn't pay 10 gold to be that crowded.
I bite my tongue real quick so that I don't say something mean. Well, you know what? You're probably right. I'll tell you what, if we see a pool that looks like it has interesting company, we'll stop there. Otherwise, we'll just go find our own.
Sounds good. Lead on.
I'd also like to see if there are complimentary drinks that I can collect as we find a pool.
Absolutely. Just occasional,
like champagne
occasional
or whatever.
little, like, shot glass-sized drinks, just drink-like appetizers to encourage you to buy the much more expensive, bigger versions.
It's the little tiny taster
Yep.
tasers.
But if you're dedicated to it, you can still get drunk off those. You just got to really work for it.
It would be a big job.
So, Wraught and Gromp, you find a more secluded hot spring. Little sample, or Gromp with like 3 of the sample drinks that he managed to grab, and just settles into one of the bubbling hot springs. The sounds of nature and the faint sounds of the town center of Vale Crossing can still be heard out here, with just a beautiful blue sky above. As for a second, this is all you have to do.
Just totally melts until the only thing that is above the water is her little snoot, kind of like an alligator.
Perfect. And Gromp, as you sink under the water, can't help but kind of self-consciously just move a hand over to cover underneath the water, just, trying to be chill about that.
I'm like totally unabashedly naked, but at the same time, when she strips out of her robe, there's nothing. It's just nothing. Just
So the two of you start to sink into relaxation. And as you do, the camera will fade. When the camera... One sec, let me get exactly what I want here going. When the camera fades back in, we see Kai and Ilsa walking arm in arm. She's led you outside of Vale Crossing, and the two of you are currently climbing up a hill that looked a lot smaller from the bottom. But you've been climbing up it for a couple minutes, you're starting to sweat, and Ilsa's just a few steps ahead of you, looking back at you. Come on, don't give up now, we're almost at the top.
This is where she kills me, isn't it?
And she throws a look at you over her shoulder. You're on to me, and gives you a wink.
So that's how you keep all your customers in.
Eventually, you make it to the top. And you can see why Ilsa chose this spot. It is an incredible view. To the east, wide open plains, blowing in the wind where you can see the waves through the grass. You can see swarms of large butterflies in the distance, and far off you can even see the towering trees of the Shroudwood. And then on the opposite side, just a little distance to the west, you can look over most of Vale Crossing. You can see the town square vibrant with heavily blooming flowers. You can see the hot springs from here in Blackberry Row, just the little small circles of bright blue.
I can see Gromp trying to cover up his junk from here.
If you can see it from there, then well done, Gromp. Can see it from the moon. But Ilsa had 2 baskets that she brought, and she begins to kneel down and unfold a blanket and begins to unpack a little picnic that she brought.
And like a good date, I'll help.
You can see that she brought some of her specialties, her croquembouche, there's fresh bread and preserves, and again using those enchanted napkins that always keep the pastries just at the perfect temperature. And even inside the basket is wrapped up in one of those napkins, a pot of tea that as she unwraps it is still steaming to the point that you can almost hear the kettle whistling as she unfolds it. It's just at that perfect temperature. Takes out cups, begins to pour, and begins to serve out the little delicacies, the little snacks that she brought. And then sits down and just looks out from this vantage point for a little bit.
Kai watches her setting all these things out, these beautifully made dishes and wonderful drinks. And when she stops and settles back, he's going to smile a bit and go, "The summer court's going to be very lucky to have you."
Oh, stop. The summer court has seen better than me. Probably lots better than me.
How would you know? Have you ever been there?
No, haven't gotten to yet.
Then how would you know?
I mean, thank you. I'm not great at compliments. Never really have been. Well, what about you, though? I feel like you've helped me out with so much, and I've gotten to learn a lot about you, but what about... You weren't always here in the Feywild, were you?
No, I've been, Feywild's been about the last year or so, on and off. I have a habit of getting kidnapped by like more powerful Fey people for some reason. I think it comes with the being blue, but also Satyr. It's kind of a novelty thing. I usually end up going back home to Waterdeep, but it's fine.
That's a dangerous hobby.
I wouldn't call it a hobby and more just an inconvenience, but this is one of the longer amounts of time that I've been here. I didn't always have this, and he like pulls his really long tail up. This isn't normal for a satyr to have.
No, I wasn't going to say anything about it but you know,
It's okay. Thank you for not mentioning it. It's still a little bit of a sore subject. I'm getting used to it.
I think it's cute. Tails are cute.
Definitely helps with jumping around and counterbalancing when you're having to fight goblins and random angry rabbits with knives.
So is that what you're doing now that you are here in the Feywild? Fighting goblins? Saving people?
It is kind of an odd thing to be doing now. It's kind of back at home. It was just living day by day, you know, learning about people, doing stuff. I like being here, weirdly enough. Feels almost better than being at home, especially now that the other two dumbasses that are attached to my hip are here. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing now. We're trying to make our way to the summer court too, actually, so who knows, maybe we'll see you there.
And a smile cracks her face as she grabs the teapot to refill your cup. And as she does, she looks up at you with her head tilted down, and she says, "So, after you're done being a hero and fighting goblins and saving people, if you like it here in the Feywild, does that mean you're planning on staying?"
I could be convinced. Probably. Maybe.
And she sits back. "Oh, could you? Well, I don't know how long I have to convince you then." And she grabs one of the pastry puffs that she brought and feeds it to you.
Well, if we see you at the summer court, you're going to have even more time. We're on a little bit of a time crunch here in this area right now. We're supposed to help a couple of kids or something. I think they're kids running around that are in a bit of a bad situation. So,
And yet,
do that, I guess.
between saving kids, destroying a logging camp, heard about that, taking care of something that Sheriff Grimm wanted done, you still found time to look for a mushroom?
It's not all like the big stuff. I mean, if you're only ever doing the big stuff, you'll kind of lose your mind. Not that I really have much to begin with. There's about 3 brain cells rattling around here, and I think Wraught owns the other 2. Or the 3 that are there.
It was
But
big to me.
if you don't... Yeah. I think it was big to me too. Oh, things that make people happy.
And the camera fades. From this
For the record,
beautiful... Yeah?
It's okay. As it fades, eventually it'll be like, during the conversation, Kai's gonna kind of like pick her brain about how on earth she's getting out of this realm. Not as like I'm digging for
we'll be coming back.
Okay, but like, perfect, awesome.
Don't worry, we are not done there. But we do cut from this beautiful scene to Melon. Hair with like an apple core stuck in it here, a little piece of like tissue paper that got stuck over here, scraps all around. And what are you doing?
Man, I found like half a ham hock behind the pub. It's great.
So you're behind the Underfoot Tavern, just slumped down, got half a ham hock, got apple core, and all these things stuck in your hair. And there's a moment where a older half-elf couple walks out, arm in arm. Wonderful dinner as always, dear. Thank you. And they look your direction down the alley, and they see you. You don't even see them because Hamhawk, and you are going to town, and you don't even notice.
I'm looking pleased as hell.
You don't even notice their approach until the shuffling footsteps of the old man, and then just the faint sound of clink clink as he drops 2 silver at your feet, and then just gives a. I hope you find somewhere warm to sleep tonight. And shuffles away.
I'm probably going to take a second to assess what's going on. It's
Okay. Nothing causes self-reflection, just like someone.
Wait a minute. Oh, free apple. Fuck yeah.
That is as far as the self-reflection got.
But no, after that, I'm probably going to make my way over to the river somewhere.
Yes, Vale Crossing is built right on the banks.
It's not near the troll.
Right.
Fuck that.
So in that case, you want to exit via the eastern bridge. But yeah, no problem. You head down and near the river where there are people here who are... And there are people here, some industriously and some lazily fishing. There are a few folks who are just, backstroking in the slow-moving waters here.
I'll definitely go downstream.
Okay.
But it's like I'm doing a quick wash off. I'll see if I can catch a fish and just eat that on the way back in.
Sure, absolutely. Make me a survival check.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm actually solid at those. That's a fucking million. 21.
21. Yeah. This is a very primal activity for you, and it is the perfect stream for you to do this, as the fish here are jumping out of the water at certain points, and so you just stand there on the bank for 30 seconds like a bear, and then just one jumps out and snap.
Winner of Fat Bear Week, everybody, right here.
Isn't that coming up here?
It's right now. It's happening right now.
It's
happening.
Fat Bear Week.
Don't vote while we're streaming.
I just need to go see.
And you can't nominate yourself, Melon. You're not a bear.
I'm not a bear.
Melon gets 15 votes from the Fisher people.
But
well, I mean, hopefully the Fisher saw it. It's like, damn, he got a fish real fucking fast.
Oh yeah, there is definitely one young boy who is there fishing with his father, and they're fly fishing. So his dad has been teaching him while you were down there rinsing off. You see him teaching the casting or how to cast properly, and he's sitting there. The boy is 6 or 7. He's having a bit of a tough time with the form, and then just 15 feet away, you just snap and catch one, and he just, hey! And you can't hear it, but we can hear as his father says, yeah, but learning how to do it right is a valuable thing, so keep practicing. But he caught it with his mouth, and you don't have a mouth like that, so we have to use fishing rods. If I had a mouth like that, could I fish like that? Sure. Now practice. Just the usual questions that parents have to field. or boyfriends. Would you love me if I was still a worm? Yeah, absolutely.
Would you love me if I could catch fish with a giant mouth?
I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome. So with Melon clean, relatively satiated, with a fish in your mouth, we fade back over to Otto and Bodhi. Otto, what pants did you pick out for Bodhi?
Oh, these wonderful these wonderful purple harem pants with a nice like hemp belt that can go around them because you want them to stay up as hard as best as they can. And if you could you make this insignia on them? And it's just a crude drawing of like a turtle shell emblem to put on the side with some mushrooms.
Sebastian, absolutely, that would be no problem. This, what you ask for, a relatively simple order. We can have it done at the same time as yours for additional 5 gold.
All right, that'll work. And Otto will give him 5 gold.
And you get the lower body measurement treatment just like Otto did. And zip, 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 just the measurements are taken rapid fire. And suddenly, okay.
Pockets, please.
Pockets, good. That is important note. Thank you very much. Pockets, any other special requests? Do you have?
You don't.
It looks around to check and see if you have a tail. Makes note of all those requirements that need to be noted for different clothing of different species. And with those orders done, what are the two of you going to do? Are you hanging out in the shop more, heading around somewhere in Vale Crossing? What you going to do?
What do you want? And we're gonna leave out the shop too. Thanks. What
Thank
do
you for
wanna
coming,
do, bud.
I don't. What are you gonna do, man? I don't know. I spend a lot of time in cities and stuff, so I mean, it all kind of feels the same to me. So I just like to walk, really. So if something calls out to you, man, I'm into it.
Well, I kind of want to find the mayor real quick, just to ask him a question, because I know we're going to be in this area a lot, and I figured as much, so to save us some money, especially since we judged the contest and we just helped save the town like twice over. I was wondering if we could go find him and see if we could just stay at the inn as long as we're here.
Oh, that's a really good idea, man. You're thinking ahead.
Yeah, plus I want to save our money.
That's also really smart, too, because that stuff goes pretty quick.
And would like to go find the mayor now. Oh, Bodhi, can you roll like 2 joints, please?
Oh, yeah. I
Thanks.
remember them. I got it.
And could Otto roll me as Bodhi's rolling that? Could you roll an investigation check, please?
18.
Otto. It's yours.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Roll up his.
I'm sorry, I'm just enjoying the method acting that is happening here.
Otto takes one of his arrows out and strikes it and lights the joint and puts it back up.
Oof.
I have a legitimate question.
Hmm?
Who all has actually taken part in Bodhi's joints?
I know Gromp has.
Yeah, so it's only Kai and I who haven't yet.
Oh, you teetotalers. You hacking squares. All right.
Don't be like that, man. Don't you say,
No,
man.
there was another episode where I did take it from one of them. So he
Yeah,
has
I thought-
Wow, I'm the square.
Melon, you square. No, do not peer pressure your friends. So this is all in good fun. I'm joking, but Melon, you're a fucking square. So in that case, Otto, as you, Bodhi, and the cloud of smoke that trails just a few feet behind the two of you walk your way through Blackberry Row, you actually, and you're asking about where the mayor might be, you actually get told,
Actually, last I saw him, he was heading over to to the hot springs, so maybe if you look for them there, we'll probably be done in a few hours, if you need to wait, but hope that helps.
Thank you, random citizen. These people are so nice here.
Yeah, man, really hospitable.
You wanna go in the hot springs?
Yeah, I can fuck with that.
And you just see this giant plume come through the air of Otto's nose and mouth.
And as you walk through the plume of smoke, you find yourself at the stone steps of Euphoria. And the two of you head up. You are greeted by a rotund halfling who introduces himself as Jerome, lets you know about the 10 gold a day rate, but also noticing your joint says,
And if it would be of interest to my lords, we do offer on-site joint rolling for an additional 2 gold per day.
I could be rolling joints and getting paid to do that?
Oh, if you are looking for another line of work, we are always in search of more employees with experience.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of doing a thing right now, but it's just really frustrating in hindsight.
Maybe this is where you can retire at, Bodhi.
And
Just here.
And Bodhi's gonna take a nice long drag from his joint and look at Otto. I mean, sorry, my guy. I mean, we could do this. It would be easy. Okay, we're just gonna. I got my own, and he fans out 4 joints from his hand. I got my own. We're good.
just gambiting these joints.
I'm doing type of fucking Sam, my guy. Right into your mouth, gambit.
Or Wolverine, whichever. So, Jerome,
well, if you've not been here before, may I give you the tour?
And
Yeah, that'd be good.
relieves each of you of 10 gold, provides you with slippers and all of that. Now, I do want Bodhi. Could you make me a luck check here? And this is to see who you run into first. Your friends or the mayor. So roll 2 d20s and let me know which was the one that was the farthest from 10. Four. So, Jerome is leading you through, and again, these hot springs are out a little outside the town walls, and just surrounded by grass and flowers and bushes and birds flying overhead, some larger springs where there are 7, 8 people gathered together. But there are also ones that you can see are tucked farther back over tiny little hills, a little bit more secluded. And you catch on the wind a familiar instrument just being plucked. And as you hear the instrument being plucked, you also hear it suddenly stop, and then just a voice, "But I have to practice!"
But does it have to be right now? Right now, this very instant.
Inspiration strikes when it strikes, and you can't just turn it off. Wraught, I'm an artist.
My body, Gromp. Is that what's inspiring?
Do you really want to hear a song that is inspired by that? Because I don't know what direction our friendship is going to take after I write that song.
I guess it depends on how good the song is, Gromp.
And he just, well, and you all, the Bodhi and Otto, you're able to hear this conversation.
Well, it looks like they're busy.
Yeah, I don't, and Bodhi's gonna kind of be, I don't really want to get into confrontation right now. Kind of got a vibe going. What about you?
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I want to go find the mayor. See if we can go find him first, and then we'll come back. Because maybe if we get good news, we could tell them that.
And, you don't have to hold it. Just let it.
Oh no! I like the way. I like the way it feels. It makes me. Yep.
Oh, may I see sick? But I'm not judging, man. And just gonna backwards walk out of this place. Mayor.
All right. So, the two of you keep pushing through the springs to locate the mayor. And the camera cuts back to the hill overlooking Vale Crossing and the fields of spring with Ilsa and Kieren. The bread is mostly gone, the jar of preserves half used. The teapot is with dwindling supply remaining. But the two of you have just been talking, laughing about inconsequential things and perhaps some more important things. What was the conversation that was being had when the camera cut back?
Probably what she wanted to do when she got there.
So, I just hope I leave a mark. I know that, from what I've heard, there are recipes still being cooked in the summer court that are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. And if hundreds of years from now they're still serving the dish that we made at the summer court, that would be amazing. I guess just to have what I've done live on.
Yeah, you want to mean something. I get that. I mean, granted, you already mean a ton to the people here, but I get that summer court is way bigger, in the grand scheme of things.
And
I'm just making assumptions again. Never been there before.
She cocks an eyebrow at you when she says, "Oh, do I?" in response to, "You mean something to the people here."
I'm good.
Well,
I mean, you have people lining up outside of your bakery all day. So.
Could you do me a favor? And I just want you to make me again, so this is going to be a luck check, but I want you to add your charisma modifier to each roll. So it's kind of like a charisma check, just a little different.
15.
15. When you say that, she leans back onto her hands, arms behind her as she's sitting down, feet in front of her, crossed at the ankle. She's just reclining. Having a line out the door does feel good. But if you hadn't come along, Kieren, I would have been, even if I'd somehow managed to find the mushroom, I'd be here celebrating alone. And a line out the door doesn't really matter once the signs turn to closed.
I get that. I have the added bonus of the giant cat and lizard that you see walking around being guys who have been following me around since pretty much I was born. I heard that. So loneliness isn't something that I'm necessarily accustomed to, but I think I can kind of envision it.
Those two.
But is that...
The three of you seem to have a longer standing relationship than the rest of your companions, and that's what you said.
Oh god, yeah, known them since I was like little.
Are they family?
They actually came to the Feywild to come find me.
Are they your family or just old friends? No, I don't mean to pry, just...
I'd consider them family, yeah. I mean, granted, one's a lizard, one's a lion, and I'm a goat, so it's kind of like we already look like a petting zoo walking around. But no, I'd consider them family, and I've known them forever. But they came to the Feywild to actually come and get me after my most recent stint of getting kidnapped by some larger creature that went, "That's a very weird-looking goat. Wait a minute, you're too weird for me," and just kind of like threw me in a bog.
Well, while I hate that that happened to you, I'm glad it brought you here.
I'm glad to. But I mean, I am glad now in the long run that us coming here meant it helped you with this. And that means you get to go to the summer court, which is already really cool.
I have one other question for you, Kai, that I've been trying to think of how to ask, and I don't really have a good way to ask it. So I'm just going to. That kiss and her cheeks take on a rosy hue with the green of her skin just being the stem of that rose. Was that just the heat of the moment? Or... I mean, I only ask because, I brought you up here to this really romantic hill, and I made you food, and... if it is, it's okay. It's okay if it is. I wouldn't be upset. I just want to know.
Maybe a little bit at the time. I have a bad habit of falling in love with the thing that I'm terrified of, just like as a weird Stockholm Syndrome thing, but that wasn't it. Like, I was happy that you were happy.
Oh.
And no, it wasn't the heat of the moment thing. So that one was different.
So, in that case, hypothetically, if I were to try to kiss you again?
Well, I'm not terrified now, so I think you'd have to give it a try.
And she does.
My ace ass is scrambling for what to say.
You're doing great. It's fiction. When that moment passes and the two of you part once again, her eyes are just sparkling as she looks at you. I know that this date can't last forever, even no matter how much I want it to. So before I get too wrapped up in the moment, I did have one last thing I wanted to give you. And like I said, she brought 2 picnic baskets with her, and she hasn't even delved into one of them. Everything she's pulled has been out of just one. And she sets the basket in between the two of you. I know that between the time I get to see you again in the summer court and now, you and I are going to take 2 very different paths, Kai. Mine, filled with flower and court drama. Yours a lot more dangerous.
And mine probably filled with a lot of violence. Yeah.
I don't have much that I can give to help with that. But you can't go into a dangerous situation on an empty stomach, so before you really need it, this meal is for you and your friends. It'll stay good, but when you need that little pick-me-up before whatever it is you're going to do, you'll have this, and hopefully it'll keep you safe long enough to come visit. And she slides the basket over to you.
No one's ever looked out for me or the people I care about for the long run on a
I care about your future and seeing you again. So, we'll make this count.
You better. I only made one. And...
I'll make sure Melon doesn't eat it the second he sees it.
Whew, good luck. Gonna eat me out of house and home, and he was only there for an hour. Did I? Hold on. Do I remember?
He squat on the ear and say no.
Am I remembering wrong, or when we left my shop, was he in the garbage?
He gets in everything. He's a menace. I don't know, if you find a puddle, he'll be rolling around in it.
She lays back and puts her head in your lap, just looking up at the cloudless blue sky. And you two just sit in that moment for a second in each other's company. And we cut back to the bathhouses. Or actually, I'm sorry. We cut to Melon. We gotta check in with Melon. What you doing?
I found a puddle. It's a really big one.
It's
great, just lay in it.
After a certain point of you being behind the tavern, the woman you recognize as Gertrude, the owner and operator of the Underfoot Tavern, comes out and looks at you. Are you doing all right?
Punch. Yeah.
You can just...
I got permission.
What, to go through the trash?
Yeah, Wraught said I could.
She didn't ask me.
Huh?
Run, bitch, run!
And you've been going through my trash? One man's trash is Gertrude's treasure. Now, to make up for this, you're going to stand up, come inside and take a bath, and have some hot food.
Ooh, hot food. I'm in.
Get inside. Making it look like a disreputable establishment, gives you a little kick on the butt as you walk through. Not a hard one, just like someone who has had unruly children. Just giving a little get through there. And she leads you to one of the guest rooms where a hot bath is poured for you. And as that's happening by some of the employees, she just turns to you. Now, you mind explaining to me what you were doing going through that one? I got delicious food here. If you're hard up on money, you could just ask.
No, Wraught has money.
Well, then what are you doing, boy?
Scraps are good, too. They gotta go somewhere.
I guess not better than what I cook, is it?
Bones.
Well, now I'm starting to feel insulted. If you chose to go through to scraps rather than eat my cooking.
Yeah, but it's like so many people just throw out so much. It's such a waste to let it go to waste.
This is the part where you say that my cooking is delicious.
Your cooking is delicious.
There's a little give and take in conversations here. And I open the door for you, and you walk through it, sometimes literally, like in here, so you can take a bath, and sometimes figuratively. Now, let's try that again. I'm starting to get offended that you're going through the scraps rather than eating my food, making me think my food isn't delicious.
Your food is delicious.
Oh, I was getting nervous there for a second that we had to have that conversation again. Now, you get in there, you have stuff all over your face. You're going to clean yourself off, dry off, get dressed, come out here and eat something good for you. Okay?
All right, and he's going to just immediately start stripping right there.
Okay. And she just
She's there.
turns and shuts the door, but you can even hear through the door. For the love of... And we now fade back from the room with the bath to the house with the baths. Back to the bathhouse. And we have two separate groups here. So, Wraught and Gromp, you've been chilling? Is there anything you've been doing in particular, Wraught?
I think she's trying to unwind, but not having much luck at it. Her eyes keep kind of darting around, looking, kind of taking in the scenery, looking for something that might make this all go wrong. After she comes up for air a couple of times, she kind of settles against the edge, and her claws keep doing a nervous kind of tap, tap, tap on the edge of it. And then realize she's being a little strange, and her eyes snap over to Gromp. Didn't you want any new clothes? I remember you had a fondness for hats.
Yeah, I do feel a little naked without it. Well, not like right now, obviously, but, when I'm not actually... Never mind. Yeah, maybe a new hat. Probably a good idea. Should I, gotta go do that now? You need some you time? Some Wraught time?
I don't even know what that is.
Really? You ever just, sat and stared at wall? We call that wall time.
No. Wall time. Is that something you get often?
At the carnival? Lots. Literally most of the day was just wall time. When I wasn't helping people. But now, not so much. And not just because we're busy, but because, frankly, there aren't many walls here. So that's made it a little difficult. I could probably get a lot of grass time, though.
I mean, I guess whatever. Reach out, touch grass, Gromp.
Reach out.
I love that part of that made it through.
Reach out, touch
grass. Fantastic.
Don't know. I mean, what's the point in being awake if you're not doing something? I mean, in the city, we were just trying to make money, because, let's be real, it's expensive to feed Melon.
And yet another group spends time talking about how Melon's stomach cannot be filled. Simultaneously, actually, the topic of two of the groups, unbeknownst to each other, at the exact same time. We just have a split screen of them, both Gromp and Ilsa going, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. We do...
So...
Oh, please continue. No, go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, did you always work for the circus? Did you live somewhere for the circus, or is it that just kind of your thing? Because I know that Otto said he has a big family, so I guess he's got another home.
I wasn't, born into the circus or anything. It's just, when you're a musician and, you're trying to find a gig, the Witchlight Carnival was consistent. Might not have been my ideal, but at least I had a show almost every night that I could play, maybe move up in the ranks a little bit. I thought there was an opportunity for advancement, but it's not like it was all bad at all. And hell, I got to meet Otto there, so that's great. But I ended up feeling a little stuck after a little while. But if I'm being honest, I thought that going on this adventure would be a way to make myself feel unstuck. But now I just don't even really feel like I know where I am or what I'm doing anymore. I'm just kind of doing it because I have to, now that we're here.
So you're like a turtle on the bank of a river, and you jumped in the river, and now you can't get out?
I feel like Bodhi should really be privy to this conversation.
Why
It
is
probably
that
has
even
like an
true?
insight that I don't have on that.
Oh, hi, Bodhi.
metaphor.
Just shuffles it in.
Yeah, something about a turtle?
Not you, a different turtle. Don't get jealous.
I couldn't.
Yeah, Bodhi, you ever had that feeling?
What?
Where, like, you just kind of feel like you're moving along because... Here, you want to get in. Wait, are you here alone? Where's Otto?
No,
Is he okay?
He's gonna shift to the side and Otto's behind him.
Oh. Okay.
And Otto with the joint just hanging out of his mouth.
Nice.
I was telling Gromp he should have gone with you to get a new hat.
Did they have nice hats there? Did you look?
He already has a really cool witch's hat, though.
Yeah, but look, I've already lost multiple hats.
Wait, why am I responding to you? You aren't there. God damn it. I got too into it. Well, he starts defending his decision anyway.
No. Stay.
So, the two of you, Otto and Bodhi, you join for this conversation for a second, but then I believe you were continuing to try to find the mayor, who you do actually locate just like 2 pools away, who's in another one of the smaller private pools. He's in a, like, t-shirt while in the hot springs. You know, just, he's got his body image issues. And he's just sitting there kind of leaning back.
Hey, Mayor.
Hello, fellow judge. And how yes, indeed, I can see that we are celebrating, aren't we?
As he waves away the cloud of smoke that follows the two of you.
Do you like some?
He shifts and, like, looks around for any of his constituents.
Yeah, come on, have some fun. Yeah.
And he takes it and leans back and takes a sip off of it and passes it back.
Oh, no, you can have that one. You can have it's for you.
You know, I know that everyone my age says this, but I swear, when I was younger, they didn't make it this strong. You used to be able to have a joint, have a good time and laugh, but now I take 1 or 2 hits and I'm out for the day.
Yeah, and I got extra heavy, sorry about that.
Oh, it also could be me, my tolerance is gone, but I suspect you didn't come here to discuss the finer points of smoking. So, what can I do for you, or will you join me for a soak?
Otto with the joint in his mouth just drops trowel and then gets in the water. So, Mayor, I was wondering, as you know, you've been really gracious and kind to us and everything. We helped out with the logging camp.
Yes,
killed
again,
that
thank you for that, yes. On that matter, I have just received confirmation from our scouts that the camp is indeed decommissioned. So, I will be sure to have your payment waiting for you at the sheriff's office. As you can see, I don't have it on me now.
Of course, but you now know that we're effective as a group, correct?
Yes, indeed. Quite effective. And all of Vale Crossing is grateful for it.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you about, Mayor. We're here on really important business. We're trying to help save the Feywild. All right? Things have been different, and we're still learning about things that are going. And me and my friends here, were wondering if we could kind of have Vale Crossing as like our base of operations, at least till everything's done and everything, so we have somewhere safe to come back to, you know, friendly faces and stuff like that.
Well, Otto, and remind me.
Booty.
Brody, yes, apologies.
Booty.
Look,
Uh,
if I hadn't
yeah, but he's
taken,
the monarch,
if
so
I
yeah,
hadn't
I'm not important.
taken that hit, I would have remembered. But like I said,
you'll
I
remember-
do not
you'll
have the
remember Bodhi.
tolerance I used to.
Well, that's Bodie's stuff that you're smoking too, so you'll remember him.
Now I certainly will. Well, let me ask you all a question. If you were to remain for any amount of time in Vale Crossing, would it be safe to assume that you would rise to her defense, should it be needed?
Heck yeah. I really like this hero stuff. And we're good at fighting too. And he is sitting in the most Yakuza form, like position possible in this bathhouse.
Have you gotten in, Bodhi?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. Yeah, I'm in it, but he doesn't look very happy.
Well,
Shouldn't be this too.
what exactly did you have in mind? Because of course you are welcome here, as long as you wish to be here. But I presume by your question and the fact that you sought me out, that you had something more, perhaps, in mind?
More or less a place to stay here. Either a permanent residence at the inn, or one of these semi-nice places here for us to stay at. That would be more private, because if we are talking about stuff and everything, we wouldn't have to worry about prying ears or eyes.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
+18 +8.
Whew, 26.
Well, how about I finish my soak. I soak for an hour every day. I find that it helps to ease the sore low back from sitting all day. But let me finish my soak. You are welcome to stay. And meet me in, say, 2-3 hours at the sheriff's office. I'll see what I can do.
All right. I appreciate that. And you know what, Mayor? Enjoy your joint. You know what? Enjoy your soak and toke, all right? Come on, buddy, let's go.
Yeah,
A soak and toke.
That's good.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Jerome, I have a business idea for you.
As he lets a big shout out that echoes down the hall. Now, before the camera cuts once again, because Sarah isn't here, let's use this as an excuse to take a very quick 5-minute break, and then we will be back here, friends. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in 5. See you soon, friends. And we are back. When we pick back up, we return to that hilltop with Kieren sitting and Ilsa head in lap, just talking, laughing, or sitting in silence and just listening to the wind and the birds. As we pick back up, Kieren, could you make me a perception check?
This is what I get for having so many tabs open looking for memes. 22.
22.
+8, what can I say?
No, that is fantastic. I just have to see if she gets higher or lower. Oh no, 5 perception. She is not paying attention to anything but you right now. So she's laying there. You know, you're just running your hands through her hair. And then you look out over the fields of spring, watching the wind blow and make those waves through the grass. And then something appears far, far, far away. Is it something that appears? Because it gets darker in that space. Just a little pinpoint from this distance. At this distance, barely the size of a fingernail. But with a 22, you can tell that it's one of those rifts forming. Off to the east, and then with a 22, you scan the landscape, and you see a second one form. From here, guessing with a 22, they are miles apart. And because you can see those tall, ancient trees of the Shroudwood, you can see that, generally speaking, there's one kinda to the north of the Shroudwood and one kinda to the south. But you see as they come into being, and one of them is the one where it gets a little darker around both of them. But one of them in particular, just that little pinprick almost looks like it is pulling the light into it.
The bridge that we had to cross over that had the troll on it, what direction was that from?
Opposite
town?
side, west side.
Okay, so it's not like leading to either of those directions. Okay.
No, so you are on the east side of town, this hill. And so you're looking further east. And you can see that way off to the east is the Shroudwood. And then north and south, not like directly on opposite sides of the Shroudwood, but generally north and generally south, you see these two rifts form. What do you do?
As soon as he does, he's gonna shake her shoulder and go, Elsa, we need to go right now. Right now.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Okay,
Look,
all right.
Those are propping up all over the field. We gotta go.
And she
So
squints.
he's gonna
because they are
leave everything.
like just from here, you can reckon those are miles away from you. Like probably at least 5, the closest one, just so you know. But you tell her we gotta go, and she, absolutely no questions, it starts gathering things up, and your eyes...
I think we're gonna leave most of it there, except the basket. If I have to pick her up and sprint down the hill like the goat that I am, I will. But like non-stop chatting the whole time, like, yep, all these things lead to fucked up places. There was one with a giant worm, a bunch of undead kids, but they will hurt you. They are. We gotta get to town and raise the alarm right now.
Okay, all right. And she's just following behind, just letting you take the lead here. And as you're running down the hill, trying to keep your feet underneath you, do you have any idea where your friends are?
As soon as he gets into distance of the town, he's going to start whistling like crazy. Now, he imagines that Wraught and Melon know that sound, given that, in a big city, when you're trying to find 2 other idiots of a group of 3 idiots, you probably have a sound that you make. So he's whistling like...
There's no need for a perception check on either... Well, yeah, there's no need for a perception check on either of your parts, because Melon, you can't hear it, because you're in a building. Wraught, you absolutely do. I will... Melon, actually go ahead and make me a check. a perception check to see if you hear it. Wraught, you hear it, no check. Just this high-pitched, very familiar whistle.
24.
You hear it too. Just as you have just finished getting yourself clean and stepping out of the bath, still dripping, you hear that very faintly, but unmistakably.
I surge out of the bath, like, immediately, like, with my big frills going up. Like,
I didn't
all
fart,
over
it's the
her
bubbles, it wasn't me.
standing up. Get your clothes on, we're leaving now!
It wasn't me, Wraught. Trust me, you'd know if it was me.
It's not that, there's something wrong.
As soon as we get into town, Kai's gonna like turn off to the side and go, Elsa, you need to go to whatever town center area, whatever. If there's any way to like raise an alarm to get.
I'll go let the sheriff know. I'll go get the sheriff.
Yes. Yeah, get the sheriff, get anyone who can fight, because we're gonna probably try to deal with these things. Like, we might get one, I don't know, we might split, might get another, but I need to tell somebody how to beat these things in a very specific way. I'm gonna go find everybody else.
And as she starts to tear off, she shouts, "Wait!" and comes back, runs to you, kisses you. Be safe. Go.
You two. There's an anchor, a weird item around them. You have to throw it back through.
And she just looks over her shoulder and nods and is running through the street. People just, "Hey, Elsa, you okay?"
What's happening?
I'm struggling
Yeah.
into my clothes,
You-
like trying to lace up my shirt kind of thing.
Bodhi and Otto, from where you were heading out, leaving the mayor to his soak and toke, you were heading back to the bath where you saw Gromp and Wraught anyway, and so you just see Wraught running out with Gromp
Hair by
behind.
totally naked.
With Gromp behind.
It wasn't me. Otto, will you tell her
Yeah,
that if I
boys,
farted, you
we're
would know
leaving
that
right
it was
now.
me? She's overreacting.
Yeah, you.
What the fuck is going? Why fart in the boat?
I didn't.
Ron, what is?
There's something wrong. I don't know what. It's not the farting. Oh my good lord, men.
All right, so Otto is literally like running and also like rolling and putting his clothes on the quickest way, like in an action way of putting stuff on.
Oh, you were supposed to take your clothes off? Fuck. Oh well, it's whatever. Soaking wet.
Okay. And runs up to Rock. So what's
I'm running, I'm keep trying to like ping Kai until I'm trying to get in range to make a mental connection.
Absolutely. So really quick question. Melon, upon hearing that whistle, what do you do?
What floor am I on?
Second.
Cool, I'm out the window.
Cool. And 5 minutes.
Naked?
5 minutes later,
I grabbed everything, but I am out the window as armor. That's it.
5 minutes later, we would see, if we were still focusing on the room, Gertrude come and knock at the door, open the door, and see just the filthy bathwater and no Leonin. Oh, he was entirely made of dirt. Oh, gods.
Now he's the most beautiful man alive.
He dissolved into nothing. All right. So, you all are running to get into the same general area so you can all chat. And for ease of the narrative, town center seems the place all of you would default to run. So, a few of you soaking wet, most of you soaking wet, eventually all of you meet up here in the town center.
As soon as I see somebody with a backpack, I'm going to shove the basket that Elsa gave me into it, just so that that doesn't get lost.
What is it?
Oh,
there's two of them.
Fuck.
One north, one south. They're not even close to each other. So either we're going to have to split the party, don't advise that, or we try to get the town to defend themselves in one, and we deal with the other.
Which one looked worse?
Ethan, which one did look worse? I mean, was it the black hole one?
I mean, that's the only distinguishing feature between the two that you noticed. You're way too far away. Like I said, miles, minimum 5. No way could you see what was on the other side.
Okay, one of them looked like it was pulling in all the stuff around it, so I don't like that. If I was a scientist, I'd name that like a black hole or something. That's just me
spitballing it. That one made me more nervous, so we should go deal with that one. But we gotta go tell Sheriff what's wrong real
Do
quick.
they know how to stop it?
I told him something about the anchor, but I mean, only Elsa, so.
Melon, pick me up. Pick me up big
Yep.
and high. And I'm gonna get up on Melon's hands and spread out my wings. And I'm gonna use minor illusion to make a sound up to a scream to amplify my voice. And I'm gonna shout to town center, essentially. Rifts opening, enemies abound, hide or arm yourselves immediately.
At about the same time you do this, you see the crowd parting for Sheriff Grimm, the burly, bearded, gruff human sheriff who is still in the process of like pulling on a chain shirt, along with several local militia, essentially, who have mustered quick enough and they're not kitted at the moment for a fight, because they literally got pulled as Sheriff Grimm got the information and started pulling people he knew were militia members. But as he approaches you, he looks up to you.
How many of them?
2, and they're far apart.
Two portals, but we don't know number of enemies that come through randomly, and we don't know where to. We've seen ones go to fucked up black and white regions to hellscapes with giant worms. There's just all bad. We're gonna try to deal with the one down south that looks like it's sucking everything in. However, these have anchors for them. There's gonna be somewhere in these portals it doesn't belong. You need to throw it back through, or it'll never stop.
What is your spa day?
Fuck the spa day.
Okay, fuck the spa day!
Sheriff Grimm looks at you all.
I've known about the rifts, but have never gotten close enough to really cause any problems. You think we should go close them, or we should stay here and set up defenses?
We would need to do both, but we're going to take one, and you need to send somebody else, a group of people out to try and stop it.
Or
You
they
have a
defend
line
town.
here.
Or they defend town until we get back, and then we can go deal with
Could
it.
defend town, send scout to assess situation, see what we'd be up against after first.
We need someone durable on the front lines just in case it's really bad.
Grim, give me who's your fastest guy?
And looks over at an elf woman who's with his group, who just gives a nod.
I mentally connect with her. I go, I'm with you now. You gotta get there. Tell me exactly what you see.
Okay, so which one do you want me to go for, and which one are you all going for?
They need to scope out the north, but might be best yet to barricade the town now to protect people. We're gonna go try to deal with the south one, and then come back, but we need to know what we're dealing with the north.
That way we can let everybody else know what needs to happen.
She turns and looks at the sheriff. I got it, Grim. I'll be safe. And she starts bolting towards the western exit. And the sheriff turns, looks at all of you.
All right. Be safe. We'll get the town locked down. All of you know what to do. Start getting the gates closed. Let everyone know to get inside. Everyone should be
and starts giving instructions while also trying to maintain a sense of calm among the civilians.
Everything is all right. This is a precaution. We're going to be taking care of a little problem. Need everybody inside. Just keep yourself safe, all right? Shouldn't take long.
Horses, Grim.
We can do that.
Otto.
Hey, and I'm going to just jump up and grab the sheriff. Listen, find Sir Golden Petal. He can help you. He can help you defend this town. Use him and tell them where I'm keeping my promise.
I'll go get him. Good idea. Good hunting, Otto.
And keep Elsa safe.
And he just gives a and continues issuing instructions to militia individuals and citizens alike. The town You can see that they've practiced this in some sense, but there's still the natural little bit of chaos that comes with people being told to shelter in their homes. But
Time to do a citizen's arrest on some horses.
Oh, no.
Probably as they're acquiring horses, I'm going to start booking it out there so they can follow after me pretty quickly.
Okay. So,
I can move pretty quick.
You start to get a head start. The rest of you, Sheriff Grimm, after issuing instructions, runs with all of you to the barracks, essentially, what it is, and the mounts that are there for the guard to use when needed. And a few of you might have to double up, but they do provide enough horses for you to saddle up and get riding. So all of you start tearing out of the western gate, which is shut forcefully behind you all, with the sheriff just watching you all depart through the final cracks and then turning and getting to work. You all dash through the grasslands here. At first, unable to see at all what Kieren was talking about, but after riding for just about 10 minutes of hard riding, you're able to see off in the distance the sky getting sucked in like smoke into something as it becomes wisps, the light from the sun itself in that area being pulled like threads through something. Continue riding, the horses starting to, get wet with the effort as they are just tearing through the fields. And then it comes into view. And it's big. And you can see the light getting pulled in, and as you get closer so that you can actually see it, you notice it's not just light, it's not just energy that is getting pulled in. There is an actual wind that is uprooting chunks of grass, nearby plants that are just flying into this rift, into this portal. But what you don't see is anything coming out of it.
There's something supposed to be coming out.
Maybe it's too big.
Maybe we can get around
Or
it.
maybe there's nothing on the other side.
So it just goes to a fucking void.
I've got an idea.
What does that mean?
And you all are shouting this as you are riding.
It's big. We need something big to not get sucked in. I can get big.
What?
What?
You'll see when we get there.
Hey, Morgan?
What?
Morgan, out of character. I'm gonna try to look for the anchor. Do you mind, giving me guidance or something?
I can probably do that, yeah. But no, it's like, out of character. Oh, no. I can become a tree.
What?
You think we're gonna get sucked in?
Maybe it's sucking everything in.
Fuck,
Well, we don't know where it goes.
Yeah, we don't know where it goes or if it's gonna expand and suck everything into it.
Bodhi, happy thoughts, Bodhi.
He can be a tree. We can tie ourselves to it.
You're about
He's
2
able to
miles
move.
away at this point, continuing to push the horses hard.
Is there
Okay.
a sucking breeze or anything?
Well, at this point, you're riding on horses, so the breeze you're feeling is coming from being on a horse at full gallop.
Okay, Kai, can you? All right, Kai, can you go and find the anchor? You're good at finding it.
Yeah, Kai's gonna tie a rope actually around his waist because if stuff's trying to get sucked in, I'm gonna go the way of Treasure Planets and tie myself to something much larger than me, which is probably going to be Melon.
Absolutely, no problem at all. 1 mile away. Everyone make me perception checks.
22 again.
As
19.
you Very nice.
6.
Dirty
Okay.
20.
Dirty 20. Bodhi?
8.
8. Okay. So all of you are able to notice the rift itself, and that you've encountered 2 of these before. And each time, the first time you saw into this world of demented playgrounds and nightmarish streets. The second one, miasmas of boiling, strangely colored liquids and factories. But you can't see through this one. All you see are these gray, ripping, tearing winds that are streaming across the rift and pulling into the rift. The ones of you that got 20 or above, which was Kai and Otto, if memory serves, the 2 of you are able to spot, and it would make sense to me if the 2 of you were on the same horse in the process, because you're good scouts. The 2 of you notice immediately near the portal, and what makes it so easy for you to notice is that the grass around here, like I said, is getting ripped up in chunks, just leaving the dirt and mud underneath. But there's this item about only yay big that isn't moving in response to the winds. And as the light gets pulled down in threads, it glints off of a small metal gear.
Metal Gear. Sorry.
And it is solid.
I was gonna hand the rope off to Melon. Don't let go. And start just kind of like doing that weird, like reverse rock climb goat pose of like trying to get down a mountain. Like
Absolutely.
digging his hooves in wherever he can in order to get close to it.
Before you actually started to do that, I was going to find a tree and wrap it around that.
Sure.
But then something weird happens.
Okay.
So hold on to it, in case the tree starts getting sucked up.
Oh no, the tree's not getting sucked up.
You just had to say it,
I'm
didn't you?
getting sucked up into the tree.
So you... Oh, what are you
You
using?
watch Melon literally meld into the tree. Tree meld.
Tree meld, absolutely. So
There's a bit more shaking as literally the roots start to crawl out of the ground and the tree starts to move.
Kai has paused in his backwards crab shuffle like, what the fuck did I just see? I'm looking at a portal that's sucking in stuff, and that is the weirdest thing I've seen today. Okay.
And what are the rest of you doing as this happens?
I turn my head and look at Bodhi and go, you know, when I told him that he could do magic, I didn't think he was going to do this.
Twins!
Otto's going to attempt to shoot. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, Otto is going to attempt to shoot at the glowy gear pit.
No problem. You tink, and it ping, like it flips a few times and lands nearby. You hit it, no problem.
I'm going to cast Mage Hand and see how I can for unsteady on my feet.
Oh, great idea. As your clawed Mage Hand comes into being really quick, Bodhi, what are you doing?
I am just watching as this, he's overstimulated, so he's not able to like pick things out. So he is scanning as everything's going. We're moving. He hears Wraught. He sees this tree moving. His jaw drops. He sees that Otto is getting ready to fire this, and he sits and he waits. I don't know what to do.
All right, Wraught, you conjure this Mage Hand and use it to go grab the gear?
Yes, but I can only keep it 30 feet away from me. So I think depending on how close I can get to it, I'm going to try to scoot myself down Kai, and then hold on to Kai to try get closer.
Or you can hand it to me and I can throw it. No, if you can get the gear to me. I'm already switched down.
So I'm going to try to get the gear with my mage hand
100%,
while holding
no
on to
problem.
Kai
So you slide
and
down.
pull it back.
You slide down the rope a little bit, and there's a bit of a scary moment where you kind of lose your grip because of the force of the winds, and you go into Kai and wrap around, getting you within 30 feet. You use your mage hand, send it forward, and it grabs this claw, or it grabs this gear. What do you do then?
I want to pull it back because I don't think I can get it up high enough to put it in the portal with my mage hand.
You know
Okay.
what I can start doing is I could start moving a little closer to the portal to get you closer.
I can also move up there, and you can use me as furniture.
I think the tree might be a little heavier.
You're just right. It's right. I'm just bottom heavy. Too. So.
I mean, multiple never hurts. Multiple anchors
You
is
can have
never a
2
bad
anchors.
thing. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to have multiple anchors.
There's definitely wind like ripping at her wings and her tail. I think it's starting to tatter him a bit.
Bodhi will start mimicking what Melon is doing in an attempt to provide additional anchorage.
So with the 400-pound turtle and the... So what ability did you use, Melon, that let you move as a tree?
With the spell Tree Meld, I have essentially become an awoken tree. There's a step block associated with said tree where I can move 20 feet. It's a speed of 20 feet.
That's
I'm basically
awesome.
a tree ant right now.
I love it. Okay, so with the tree melded Melon and the 400-pound turtle acting as 2 anchors, Otto, you plunked away, and with it flipping just a little bit closer, you're still there just kind of waiting to see if anything comes out of the portal. And Wraught, your mage hand brings the gear back and drops it into Kieran's hand. Kieren, as soon as it touches your hand, you are able to see these ghostly chains. This chain that extends from the gear and into the portal. You've touched both anchors of the previous 2. You're the one who threw it in, if memory serves, or at least dealt with it partially in both times. This has never happened before. Make me an Arcana check. Because you're the only one who can see this.
If I shout it a little bit to Wraught, can that help a little bit? Like maybe she can make the Arcana check?
Absolutely. What do you shout?
There's a chain! Looks kind of ghostly going from this into the portal.
You can also make an Arcana check.
17 plus 1, shockingly.
24.
24. Then I think with just a little bit of help from Wraught on this, the 2 of you come to a conclusion, and that is that this anchor is linked to another. And the other is on the other side of the portal.
So that means we have to go in?
And we'll pick up there next time.
No! God damn it, no!
No.
How dare you? Good sir. We love
So-
you, but how dare you?
With the
Jiggle, jiggle,
wild
Everybody
things...
in there.
With the wild things standing here, one anchor in hand, tied by rope against these ripping, gusting winds leading into this rift that they seek to close, and realize that the path to closing it might lie on the other side of it. That is where we will pick up next time. Great session, everyone!
Shittier part of this infection.
Bodhi, you're gonna sit your ass down and hang on to that rope.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Alternatively, I'm gonna pull you guys back. You all are all gonna tie off and I get you closer and closer to it.
You got time to strategize out a game, so we'll see what ideas you come up with next time. Thank you all so much for playing. Before we sign off, please don't go anywhere so that we can raid and share the love. But before we sign off, I'm going to go around, let people say their farewells, make any announcements that might need to be made. Mav, why don't you lead us off?
Hey everyone, it's your favorite blackout on the internet here. I didn't let you sit with anticipation this time. So hi everyone. You can find me at digitalclubhousetv here on Twitch. And it is our Chakra Spooktacular month where I play nothing but fucking horror games. Where you have dollar jump scares. You can pay $10 and make me eat one of these nasty ass bean boozles because they taste like ass. Or they might taste like something great. Fun. All proceeds go to helping me get a new phone. Yeah, I'm playing a lot of cool games right now on Wednesdays. I am playing Dead Space the remake. That's fun. Next Saturday, I'll be playing a wonderful new game. You'll have to just see what it'll be. And you can also find me here on Thousand Faces TTRPG, where we play cool ass TTRPG, which you'll see me on Tuesday, motherfuckers.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and just have a great day and be kind to one another.
Amen. Morgan.
I'm making mugs.
And they're looking really cool. Y'all don't realize quite how huge that mug is until you realize that Morgan's like 6'8".
Close enough.
6'6"? Around there.
Yeah,
he a big boy.
He
a big boy.
Big boy.
Yeah, check those out. Are you going to be putting those up for sale at any point?
I already called dibs for my shop.
Oh, well, there you go. Speaking
you were
of
saying dice trays, but I'm saying my mugs.
Speaking of your shop, Joe, let us know about that.
I got like 6 new sets up and a couple of pretty spooky. They're available for pre-order pretty soon for the holidays. So if you need super cool handmade dice, you better get them now.
Great present. Sarah.
I got nothing. I'm just vibing.
Easy. Love that for you. And Lauren.
Playing a new game. Nobody talked to me. See you later. No, I'm just joking. I'm not doing anything other than playing in this new game and not talking to anyone. So, I mean, just mostly that. Ethan will tell you some stuff.
Ethan will tell you some stuff because this is our most jam-packed TTRPG month so far on Thousand Faces TTRPG, because not only did we have this today, but on Monday we have part 1 of a short little mini mothership campaign starring 6 very talented individuals, none of whom have ever appeared on the stream before. So come join this new host in a very deadly system, so deadly they had to make 2 characters apiece. And then on Tuesday, we will be returning for Chapter 12 of the City of the Crimson Tower. Things are getting oh so emotional there. I love it. And then we'll be back here on Saturday again, far as I know, for Wylde Beyond the Witchlight. So lots to check out here, and you can always catch up on Go Buff Yourself, but since I'm the one doing all of the editing as well, it takes me a little bit. I'm behind. I'm trying to keep.
You're doing great.
I'm trying to keep Wylde.
Doing so well.
I need to double up on Wylde Beyond to catch up because I just did episode like 14 and this was episode 36, so I'm not even halfway through what we have. But anyway, those are my announcements. Thank you so much for being here, friends. We appreciate you all. Let's go ahead and start this raid just so we can have a few people go in there and share some love. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourselves. We sincerely appreciate you from the bottom of our heart sharing this story with us and just taking time out of your day to be here with us. So until we see you next time, be good to yourselves, hydrate, and stay wild, friends. Bye.